Hello, this is Andrea Norman, Twigs&Things. I am welcoming you to my new YouTube. Very exciting for me. I am thrilled to get this up and running so that you can see every single step of how I do things. Before, it was not showing it consistently when I was putting it onto my Instagram, and now you'll be able to see the whole process from start to finish uninterrupted and really understand how to do what I'm doing. And you can do it, believe me. Everybody can do this. It's not hard at all, I promise you. So what we're doing in my first episode is we are making Moroccan halibut in parchment paper. It is so delicious. I can't begin to tell you how scrumptious this dish is and how very, very easy it is to make. Very few ingredients, and as long as everything is beautiful and fresh, you are guaranteed to have a perfect meal in one package. It's going to be a white fish of your choosing. I prefer halibut or orange ruffy. We're using orange ruffy today, and fresh vegetables and couscous and a beautiful sauce that's going to cook all of that together and make a delicious meal. So I hope that you come along with me and enjoy this journey into making Moroccan fish. So this fish dish is very easy. It is practically foolproof. You cannot mess it up, I promise. It has very few ingredients and the flavors are phenomenal. They are so delicious. I have never served this and it has not been a huge hit. It's always a huge hit. So let me explain what we're doing. I have, now what I suggest is that you use a white fish. You can use salmon if you like. I use a white fish because I think that for this particular dish, it works the best. Now, which white fish you use, it doesn't really matter. I prefer halibut, but the market didn't have halibut yesterday, so I bought orange ruffy, and it will do just fine. I have kept the orange ruffy in milk overnight in the refrigerator so that the smell does not seep out. Luckily, this fish is so fresh, there's no smell at all. So what I'm going to do is take the fish out of the milk. So here is my beautiful orange ruffy. This is a beautiful piece of fish. You can tell by the color that it's fresh, it doesn't smell. It is a beautiful piece of fish. This happens to be a pretty large piece, I have to say, that for my taste, I would probably make this into two pieces. But for the sake of keeping things simple today, I will just keep it whole. So I've just patted this dry. I'm just going to put it aside, and I'm going to also take the other one, a little bit smaller, and I'm going to pat this dry as well. We're drying it off so that when I put the flavor over it, that it adheres to it. If it was too wet, it wouldn't stay on. So now I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to make my wonderful marinade. Now, you've heard me speak on my Instagram quite a lot about Spice&Tulips. Spice&Tulips is an amazing shop in Old Town Tustin, and they sell incredible spice blends. Now, this one is their Harissa Tunisian blend. This happens to be amazing for any kind of fish. Also good for chicken and vegetables. If you don't want to go into Spice&Tulips, if you're not local, you could order it online, but you can also put together your own spice blend. Let me tell you what's in this. Oh, it's okay, little Lily. This has chili, cumin, caraway, Turkish mint, garlic, paprika, and salt. So if you don't want to purchase this all blended together, you can very easily make this up yourself. So I'm going to pour this. I used about half of the jar last night on some other fish, and I'm going to use about the same amount, about half of this jar. Put it into my bowl. So my little Lily Paisley, she was crying because she wants to be helping mommy to cook. So I'm just going to pull her next to me so she can watch closely and you can enjoy her cute little face. So come here, little Lily. You can help me cook, okay? Okay, baby? There you go. Okay, so I've put this wonderful Tunisian spice blend in my bowl. To this, I am going to add some good olive oil. Now, it is important to use a good quality olive oil. You want to make sure that it is extra virgin olive oil and that it has a nice color to it. You don't want it to be too light because it won't be a good strength. So I'm going to add this to my bowl. And what I'm making here is a marinade that is going to go onto the fish, but the fish doesn't actually have to sit in this overnight the way that other marinades sometimes work. This happens to be a kind of marinade that you can just pour over the fish and it works beautifully. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to make a little sack. I'm taking parchment paper, putting it on my board. I almost forgot that I have to show you what to do with these gorgeous vegetables. So the vegetables are going to be julienned. Going to just take any stems off. So what I'm doing is I'm taking these beautiful baby vegetables that are fresh. I have baby zucchini, baby carrots, baby squash, and I have small asparagus. They're just the tips of the asparagus. And what I'm going to do is use these vegetables in these beautiful little packages with the fish and with the couscous. So this is Moroccan fish, as I've said. So we're going to use couscous, which is a very traditional Moroccan type of grain. Very similar to rice, but very, very flavorful. I've actually purchased a couscous that has cheese in it. There are many, many different kinds of couscous that you can purchase. This one is couscous with Parmesan. Now, I like the Near East. It's very quick. It's very good. It doesn't have anything artificial in it, which is what I like because I tend to purchase organic everything. And you can see here that I'm taking these vegetables and I'm doing what we call julienne. Julienne is simply cutting the vegetables thin, but keeping the length because you want to keep that beautiful length. These little zucchinis are so adorable. I absolutely love them. They're so flavorful and fresh, and they're just the right thickness, and they're not soft. They're just perfect. I'm so happy that I found them. This is a great time of the year to purchase fresh vegetables, and I encourage you to do that because fresh vegetables in the spring are just delicious. We have the root vegetables in the fall and the winter, and in the spring we have lots of different kinds of vegetables. So now I'm taking these little squash and I'm slicing them nice and thin so that they will cook in the parchment, because if they were too thick, it would be difficult for them to cook all the way through. But we don't want them to be soggy, so we don't want them to overcook, but they must be at least soft enough to eat. The nice thing about these baby vegetables is that they cook beautifully, and you don't have to really worry too much about them not cooking appropriately in the parchment paper. Probably I tend to make too many vegetables, and then I just keep whatever I don't need, put it aside, and I can actually serve it on the plate as just sort of as a pretty decoration, but a decoration that can be eaten. So that's kind of nice. So here we've done everything here, and we have our nice asparagus. So I'm just going to move this aside like so. And then I'm going to put the couscous, which I've already cooked. It only takes about 5 minutes, which is amazing. And like I said, it comes in many different flavors. You can get it with mushrooms. You can get it with spices, Mediterranean spices. This one happens to have a little Parmesan cheese and a little bit of parsley in it. And it must be cooked before you put it into the parchment paper. And so we're just going to put it in like this. And then I'm going to place, oh, Lily, don't get too close, sweetheart. I'm going to put my vegetables on top of the couscous. Okay, just like so. Doesn't have to be in any perfect way, just doing one type at a time so that they all get, I mean, doesn't that just look beautiful? That alone would be a delicious meal for a vegetarian. Oh no, with the beautiful sauce on top. So now I'm going to place my fish on top of this. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to put some sauce on both sides. So I'm going to take my beautiful sauce and I'm going to rub it on first on the underside of the fish, like so. I personally like to add a little bit extra of salt because I like a lot of flavor to my fish. Now I'm going to put this on top here like so, and I'm going to do the other side and then rub it all over and take the salt, sprinkle a little salt, and then I'm going to add a pat of butter and some sliced lemon and close up the parchment and put it in a 350-degree oven until it's fully cooked, about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on which fish you've purchased. The orange ruffy takes a little bit longer to cook than other fishes. So when I did this last night, it took about 20 minutes before it was the texture that I like. But I like my fish cooked pretty well. So everybody's taste is a little bit different. Let me show you the pat of butter and the sliced lemon. So here's a pat of butter. A pat of butter is about a tablespoon of butter. Oh, Lily, don't get on the table. This is going to make your fish taste so flavorful. Now, if you don't want to include the butter, it's okay. I happen to like a lot of flavor. I really like to enjoy my food, and a little butter is not going to hurt anybody. That's how I feel. I do think the lemon is extremely important because it gives a wonderful flavor to the fish. And this lemon is so juicy. And I'm just going to put it on top of the fish like so. And we're going to close this up and put it onto the baking tray and bake it, I should say, at 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. And you will have the most delicious dinner all in one nice package. Okay, so this goes into the oven, 350, 15 to 20 minutes. Our fish is now ready to take out of the oven. And we're going to open it up, and you can see how beautiful these packages are. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely exquisite. You've got the couscous, the vegetables, the fish, the lemon. You don't need anything else. This is a complete meal, and it is just delicious. Okay, our fish is ready to be plated. And it is so scrumptious. Look at that, just beautiful. So I'm going to arrange the couscous and the vegetables so that they surround the fish and they're under it as well. This truly is a magnificent spring meal with beautiful spring vegetables. The couscous is just delicious. The fish smells and looks divine. I mean, what could be a better meal than this? I hope you've enjoyed this cooking video. Wasn't it easy? So simple to make, right? And you can do it too. I promise. Use the ingredients that I have told you to use, and you will have an absolute guaranteed success on your hands for a fabulous dinner. It is a delicious thing, I promise you. Moroccan fish in parchment with couscous and fresh vegetables. Give it a try. Andrea Norman, Twigs and Things.